Hey everyone, Nigel and Luke here, and welcome to Crime Zone.
Representatives from Georgia's Warner Robins Police Department say that they have successfully recaptured 5 inmates this week after they were able to escape from a jail in the city of Hawkinsville. According to reports, the incident began on November 12th at the Pulaski County Jail, about 130 miles south of Atlanta. While a female guard was speaking to an inmate, the group of 5 escapees attacked her, taking her keys and locking her and a second guard inside of a cell. After that, the 5 inmates stole 2 tasers and fled the jail in a white van they took from the parking lot. News of the escape quickly made headlines when authorities announced that 5 of the escaped inmates had violent criminal histories. They were subsequently identified as 27-year-old Tyree Jackson, 28-year-old Dennis Penix Jr., 24-year-old Brandon Pooler, 22-year-old Lewis Evans III, and 33-year-old Tyree Williams Jr. At least 2 of the men were facing murder charges at the time of their escape. On Sunday, November 14th, the first 2 inmates were captured a few hours apart. The first was captured in Jackson, while the other was caught in the city of Warner Robins. It's unclear where or when the 3rd and 4th inmates were taken into custody, but it is said that their capture was the result of joint efforts between the Warner Robins Police Department, the U.S. Marshal, Georgia State Patrol, the Georgia Bureau of Investigation, and the Houston County Sheriff's Office. The final one of the men to be captured was Tyree Williams. He was found just after midnight on November 17th, hiding behind a building on North Davis Drive in Warner Robins. At the current time, it's unclear what charges the 5 inmates will be facing for their escape. Officials at the Pulaski County Jail allege that understaffing was at least partly to blame for the escapes. According to the county sheriff, the facility is at least 12 guards short.
Authorities in Houston, Texas say that a man has been arrested and is facing multiple charges this week after he allegedly led police on a high-speed chase while several children were inside his vehicle. According to reports, the incident began at approximately 1:30 a.m. on November 21st, when a Harris County deputy saw a man in a white Ford pickup truck driving erratically on the Beltway in southwest Houston. Suspecting the man might be driving drunk, the deputy tried to get him to pull over, but he refused, and a chase began. The pursuit reached speeds of over 100 miles per hour, finally coming to an abrupt end nearly 13 miles later on Corporate Drive, when the man stopped and got out of his vehicle. When he did, he had a baby in his arms. After taking the child from the driver and placing the driver under arrest, they noticed that there were 3 more children in the back of the truck, who ranged in age from an infant to 8 years old. At the time of this recording, it's unclear how the children are related to the driver, who has only been identified as a Hispanic male in his late 20s or early 30s. Thankfully, it was reported that none of the children were injured. The unnamed driver is now facing several felony charges, including a possible DWI and multiple child endangerment charges.
Authorities in Jackson County, Oregon say that they have seized 250 tons of marijuana this week after they raided 5 warehouses tied to an illegal growing and trafficking operation. According to reports, the 250 tons of marijuana was found during a 2-day investigation of the warehouses, which are located in White City. The operation was conducted by the Oregon State Police's Southwest Region Drug Enforcement Team, who estimated the street value of the drugs to be roughly $500 million. In addition to the staggering quantity of marijuana, police also found more than 100 people at the warehouses, including a number of migrant workers who were living in poor conditions without running water. Though marijuana is legal for both medicinal and recreational use within certain restrictions in Oregon, illegal farming of the plant has reportedly continued to cause problems for many communities in the state. Officials in Jackson County claim that they deal with numerous serious crimes on a daily basis related to these illegal operations. Authorities say that their investigation into the White City warehouses will take several weeks to complete. At the time of this recording, it remains unclear how many arrests have been made in connection with the raid.
Authorities in Los Angeles County, California say that they are investigating the suspicious circumstances surrounding the death of a 24-year-old model this week, after her body was dumped outside of a hospital after a night out with friends. According to reports, on the night of November 12th, model Christy Giles went out with Hilda Cabrales Arzola and another friend in Los Angeles. The friends were supposed to be attending a party in the Hollywood Hills, but allegedly changed their plans after Hilda met a man, and her and Christy ended up back at his apartment instead. Roughly 12 hours after the women were last heard from, Christy's body was dumped on the sidewalk of a hospital in Culver City by 3 masked men who were driving a vehicle with no license plates. Christy was pronounced dead a short time later. About 2 hours later, Hilda's body was abandoned at a different hospital in West Los Angeles. At the time of this recording, she remains in critical condition. Heroin was found in her system. While police have not yet determined whether foul play was involved in either woman's case, family members allege that neither Christy nor Hilda would have taken the drug willingly. A resident of the building where the women were alleged to be before they were abandoned claimed they heard unusual noises coming from the apartment that morning. Phone records from the 2 women also allegedly revealed that the last message Christy sent was to Hilda at 5:48 a.m. It said, "Let's get out of here." Like, "I am scared. We need to leave." Hilda agreed and replied that she was getting an Uber. Reports allege that the Uber was called and that it arrived and waited, but left without the 2 women. At the time of this recording, the investigation into the mysterious situation continues.
Representatives from the NYPD say that they're on the hunt for an unknown suspect this week after he fatally stabbed a sleeping man while aboard a New York City subway train. According to reports, the incident took place just after midnight on November 21st, while the victim, 32-year-old Akeem Lani, was riding the number 2 northbound train. Lani had reportedly dozed off on a couple of the subway seats when his attacker approached him and stabbed him in the neck before fleeing. Though Lani was rushed to Bellevue Hospital, sadly he was pronounced dead a short time later. Friends of Lani say that he was an extraordinarily gifted soccer player who had dreams of playing professionally. Though he had recently fallen on hard times and was believed to be homeless, they say that he had found a job and was in the process of getting back on his feet. He was known for his friendly and positive personality, as well as his passion for soccer. At the time of this recording, police have released surveillance photos of Lani's suspected killer, who was captured as he fled the subway station. They are hoping that a member of the public can help to identify the suspect, and are currently asking for anyone who knows anything to come forward with any information they may have.
Representatives from the California Highway Patrol say that 2 people have been arrested and that others may follow after an armored truck carrying money accidentally opened while driving this week, causing a frenzy. According to reports, the incident began at approximately 9 a.m. on November 19th, when an armored truck belonging to the Sectran Security Inc. was traveling down Interstate 5 near the city of Carlsbad. At some point, one of the doors of the vehicle flew open, causing the cash inside to spill out all over the highway. Drivers on the highway who noticed what had happened immediately began to stop and run out of their vehicles, scrambling to scoop up as much of the money as possible before police arrived. By the time the driver of the armored truck realized what was happening and began to try and recover the cash, it was too late. He was hopelessly outnumbered by others on the highway, grabbing handfuls of loose bills. Instead of trying to pick up the money, he instead opted to try and record as many people as he could that were taking the cash. By 10 a.m., California Highway Patrol officers had closed down a large section of the highway and were busy stopping other drivers from getting involved so that they could clean up the money. However, by this point, many had already escaped with handfuls of cash. A TikTok user named Demi Bagby captured and posted now viral footage of the incident, showing her and her friends with piles of bills in their hands, as well as numerous other people standing in the middle of the highway picking money up. Police say that they have arrested 2 people in connection with the scramble for cash, an unidentified man and woman who were caught with some of the money after they got locked out of their car. Authorities have urged anyone else who took the money to come forward, stressing that it was a crime to do so and that the money does not belong to them. At the time of this recording, it's unclear how much cash was taken or how the door to the armored truck opened in the first place. It's said that most of the bills that spilled out of the truck were 1s and 20s.
Representatives from the Philadelphia Police Department say that they're investigating the heartbreaking murder of a 32-year-old pregnant woman this week after she was shot just a short time after attending her own baby shower. According to reports, the chilling crime took place at about 8:35 p.m. on the night of November 20th on the 6200 block of Palmetto Street. It happened as Jessica Covington, who was 7 months pregnant, was unloading gifts from her baby shower after arriving home. A police officer who was just a couple of blocks away heard gunshots and rushed over to Jessica's location. Upon arriving, they found her suffering from gunshot wounds to her stomach and head. Jessica was rushed to the hospital, but sadly, she was declared dead just after 9 p.m. Her unborn child was declared dead 10 minutes later. At the time of this recording, authorities say that they are still investigating the situation, but that no weapons have been recovered and no arrests have been made. Philadelphia Mayor Jim Kenney has since announced that the city is offering a $50,000 reward for information leading to an arrest in the case.
Authorities in the city of Waukesha, Wisconsin, say that 5 people are dead this week and dozens are injured after a vehicle plowed into participants and spectators at a local Christmas parade. According to reports, the incident took place at approximately 4:39 p.m. on November 21st, as crowds had gathered to take part in the afternoon's festivities. Witnesses recall that all of a sudden they started to hear screams, and then they watched in horror as a red SUV began to drive into people. The SUV first drove through a series of barricades that had been set up for the celebration, before heading directly into the parade route. The vehicle first struck a member of a marching band before hitting and running over others in the band and the crowd. Even after several people had been hit, the SUV continued forward and then drove away. Reports allege that a police officer fired at the driver of the vehicle in an attempt to stop him, but was unsuccessful. However, the SUV was quickly identified and both it and the driver were tracked down and recovered. The driver has since been identified as 39-year-old Daryl Brooks of Milwaukee. It is said that he has a long criminal rap sheet and has a number of pending cases. At the time of the incident, he was out on bail for one of those charges. While authorities have not announced a definitive motive at the time of this recording, they say that they have no reason to believe that it was terror-related. Brooks was allegedly involved in a domestic disturbance earlier that day, and reportedly left the scene just before driving his SUV through the parade. Though few additional details are available at the time of this recording, it is said that the 5 deceased victims of the attack range in age from 52 to 81, and include 4 women and 1 man. Hospitals in the area have offered varying reports about the victims who are currently receiving treatment, but it is believed that at least 40 people were also injured during the terrifying incident. At least 10 children are in the ICU, and 7 adults are in critical or serious condition. Brooks now faces 5 charges of intentional homicide, and authorities say that more charges are possible. That's it for this edition of Crimes of the Week. If you enjoyed our video, don't forget to like and subscribe to Crime Zone for more true crime content like this, making sure to hit the notification bell to stay up to date with our latest releases. Thank you for watching.